comedy, a fighter for freedoms, an accomplished entertainer, and a pervert. You've got problems, he's got problems. You've got questions, he's got answers, some of which are good. Call now, 866-WOW-1-WOW. That's 866-969-1969. This is the Jim Norton Show.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for listening to the Jim Norton Show. I apologize for the late start. We are having a technical issue. I am trying to set up I'm going to try one more thing while you guys are on the air with me and see if you can hear me. We have two microphones here. Now, you guys know I always do this show alone. Let me just ask Lou. Just type yes or no, Lou. Can you hear me in that mic clearly or no? Yeah, I just did it. Hold on. How about this one? Okay, I was talking right into the mic. And this piece of shit fucking mixer that I have here is only good for one mic. So I spent the last 10 minutes trying to get a second microphone hooked up to this piece of shit mixer that they give me. There's 5 slots for microphones. I use one. I have a second one. And only one is working. And I've never been closer to throwing a piece of technical equipment across a room as I am right now. I am so irritated with this piece of shit mixer not working. And Don is texting me, try moving your mic to another slot to see if the mixer works. Okay, oh yeah, hold on. Right now, you guys are hearing this, and there is a reason for doing all this. I'm not just being a dick. All right, Lou? Just text me if you can hear this. I have moved to another one. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
You can hear me there? Okay, you can hear me there. Let's see here. I do not know why you can hear me there. So maybe it's the microphone he gave me doesn't work. Hold on. How about there?
No.
Okay, Don, I have broken equipment. You can only hear, but you can hear me fine, right, Lou? Okay, thank you guys for putting up with this. I'm going to try to untangle this broken equipment. The second microphone I have here is a piece of shit, which just doesn't work. So I may have a guest today, which is why I'm just very frustrated with all of this. So I wonder what's on everybody's mind today. And again, I'm truly sorry for this start. If we have to go a little late, we will. Hold on. And that's okay? Okay, guys, let's go to, let's talk, first of all, before I start, we're going to get to you, Jay, in Chicago. Don't worry. You know, it's really irritating to have the fans automatically assume that I've seen something I didn't see. Like, you know, you guys, I think very few performers have been as open with themselves or their opinions or the fans as I have in my career. You know, I mean, I think that I've tried to give unpleasant truths about myself, and I've told some pretty fucking embarrassing stories. I've weighed in with opinions on almost everything. And, you know, I know you're like, oh, you're a fucking sellout. And I know that all of you are experts on show business. But you might not realize this, but the opinion I took on Anthony when he got fired was not a popular one in my business. The opinion I took on Donald Sterling and how he shouldn't have gotten in trouble for saying what he said was not a popular one in show business. Now, I know you guys are all experts on it, and you know exactly why I'm doing it, because I'm always gravy train riding. But I've tried to at least be really honest about my feelings. So yesterday on the air, we talk about Amy has this tweet with this guy. And this 17-year-old tweets her a joke. His intent is pretty obvious. He's just trying to be funny in kind of the way that she's, you know, said, like, I've done all these whorish things. You know, he's just trying to joke with her in that vein. And she gets annoyed and she snaps at him. And he apologizes. And that's the end of it. She doesn't say, you shouldn't be on the red carpet. Maybe she shouldn't have snapped at him. Maybe she shouldn't have gotten offended or annoyed at that joke. Maybe she was too sensitive about it. But she didn't ask for anything to be done. So what I said was, as a person who has said things about myself like, hookers and fucking, I got AIDS, I like to get pissed on. Fans have come at me with that stuff for years. And I usually know the tone that it's in. Jim, you suck. All right, thanks, guys. I kind of get the tone it's in. Once in a while, I fucking snap and I block somebody I shouldn't block because they really are kidding with me. So I have done it. So I say that. I say that yesterday. I'm not killing Amy, A, because she is my friend. Sorry, guys, I'm not just going to attack my friend. But B, because I don't think it's a big deal. Immediately after she responds to this guy, people are like, bully! Bully! They're calling her a bully for responding to somebody about a joke she didn't like. And whether she was right or wrong to not like the joke, okay, that's up for you to form an opinion on. I get a text from my ex-girlfriend hours later. I know you guys think that I'm constantly obsessing over what's been going on and what the fans are thinking, but I really wasn't. I was in the middle of a lot of contract stuff yesterday for this stupid animation. So I'm back and forth with my manager all day. I get a text from my ex-girlfriend in L.A. hours later saying, holy shit, this Amy thing is crazy. Everyone's blogging saying this guy's a sexist. She's like, it's on Yahoo News and MTV and BuzzFeed, and they're all calling this kid a sexist. So I am so fucking annoyed. Hold on, my guest is here.
Hi.
Hello.
Are you on the air?
On the air, yeah. We got one mic we can share. It's
Cool.
very easy.
I have to pee for.
I'm okay, that's fine. Okay. There's an iPhone charger in my room. Is it a 6 Plus? Yeah, it's to the left. Okay, my guest has arrived, so I apologize. I normally wouldn't put the thing back on the microphone. So I texted, I got a call this morning, so I'm just jumping ahead. I got a call this morning from Amy when I got off the train. And we talked very, very briefly. It was hard to hear because I was running up the steps. I was in the subway. And she was going to try to call in today. And it was, depending on her schedule because she is shooting. So then I got a text, and she's like, look, we're shooting. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm like, okay, no problem. And, then I got a call a little while ago where she has made an effort. She said, I want to just come in. So she has arrived. She's here. She's running in to use the bathroom. So the problem was I don't have two mics. So all this is happening in the last little while. So I was just trying to hook up two mics, and that's why we started late. Because I've never had anybody in my apartment as a guest. So we can just hold the mic and talk into it with, she's tinkling right now, so hopefully she'll be out soon. And we will get to some of your advice and your questions and whatever you want to talk about. But that's why this is so frustrating that this is not working.
Okay, don't make fun of my outfit.
I won't. She's dressed horribly.
Shut up. Okay.
All right, it's a sweatsuit. Hi. So we're going to have to...
We're sharing that headset?
No, we can just talk like that into a regular microphone.
All right, cool. You even got me a water?
I did, but that was for me, but you can have it because I have my coffee here. So what motivated you to come today? I was surprised to get the coffee.
I've just always wanted to be in your apartment.
This is just a good excuse to get over?
Yeah, I just heard no one comes here without having a great time, and needing to clean a ton of urine off themselves. I'm being accused of stealing jokes, and I wanted to come and talk to you about it and clear my name because I would never, ever do that, and I never have. And I'm literally going to take a polygraph test and put it on my show this season. And I promise whatever the results are, I won't let them cut. I will show that I had never seen Patrice do that bit. I had definitely never seen Tammy Pescatelli do that. I didn't happen to catch her 2006 Comedy Central special and sit on that bit till I got a movie. I sat on that bit for 9 years and then was here's my chance to steal that Tammy, the famous Tammy P bit. I had never seen Kathleen Madigan's Oprah bit, and we did a scene on our show. She Both Kathleen and Wendy believe me. They know me, and they don't believe that I would do that. I think this is like Tammy's trying to get something going. I don't know. But the Kathleen thing, we did a scene on my show called Slap Chef, where the diet is that you pay a chef to slap the food out of your mouth. I came up with the scene, the sleep gym, because I was thinking I wish somebody could put me in a coma and work me out. And then one of the other writers came up with Slap Chef. So we just tacked it on, and then there's like another chef that like makes your spinal cord not work. So, you like shrivel down to nothing. But none of us had, Kathleen's a great comedian. I have never seen one of her specials. I had never heard her do that joke, and I also didn't even write. And that was season 1 of my show. And then the Wendy joke, I love Wendy Liebman. She's one of my heroes. She did that joke. I looked at the footage that they showed. She did a joke in the 90s, a special in the 90s. I didn't know Wendy till I got older. I never would have seen her stand up in the 90s, but I love her. And her joke, it's the same punchline as mine. It's the play on the words, like, I think it's cool for the guy to pay. Beat for sex, and it's like that. Kurt Metzger even said to me before I did my special that he's like that. I've like heard jokes like that on like the comic strip answering machine. Like I think that's like a little hack. And I was like, yeah, but I wrote it and it gets a laugh. And me, I'm so like, is this anyone's bit? Like, I have to come up with so much material and my TV show, this movie, stand up, I'm so careful. And none of these things had ever reached me. And I just would never do that. Like, that would be so stupid for me to do that. So I wanted to come here and talk to you about it. And so that's why I'm here.
It's one of the things is it doesn't seem like it would make sense to publicly say, I like Wendy Liebman, and then go and consciously steal a bit from Wendy Liebman. It would be like me taking something from Richard Pryor when I had said many years, I love Richard Pryor.
Right.
And
the
it's just
idea that you're like, ooh, I like that joke. I'm going to do it on television, even though I'm someone who a lot of people see right now. It would just be stupid. And it's like, it's so out of my hands. Like, I didn't know I was going to like, I just wanted to be a good comedian. I didn't know I was going to get famous and all this stuff. I'm the same as I've always been. And I would never, I feel like the same like chick that would just be sitting at the cellar and making sure and calling you in a tell, like, is this anyone's joke? And I would just never do that. But this is what happens. People like build people up and then they like to rip them down when they're like experiencing some success.
So what do you think it is? Do you think that, if people are coming after you because you've hit a certain level? I noticed that people get really mad. And Lou is saying that this is distorting just a teeny bit. So Lou, just tell me what to do. It's almost like you took a stance on guns, and that offended a lot of people's,
right,
with how they felt about guns. And what kind of prompted you to do that?
To talk about guns?
Yeah.
Oh, well, do you want me to hold it or you don't care?
No.
Okay. Well, any shootings have always gotten me so upset. Like, I remember especially hearing about the shooting in Aurora and knowing that what happened to that comic and like just thinking that people just went out to have fun and then that happened. Like, it upset me so much. And then when I heard that 2 women died, like that there'd been that shooting in Lafayette, and I felt responsible. Like, I was like, I wish I never wrote the movie. Because at least 2 people were dead because they went to see my movie. And I just found out, I had no education on gun violence or anything. And I found out that the guy was really mentally ill. And I found out how there's that loophole. Because I believe in the right to bear arms. If you have a gun, great. But if there are these like loopholes where if it's at a gun show, you don't really need a background check. If it's on the internet, you don't need. So this guy, John Hauser, who's super mentally ill, should not have been able, he legally owned a gun. He shouldn't have been able to. And so unfortunately, no one listens to politicians. People listen to celebrities, which is disgusting. But so if me using my celebrity can help stop even one shooting from a school or a movie theater, and I know that the most shootings aren't these mass shootings. Unfortunately, most deaths are from suicide. But people are lazy, and if they couldn't get a gun, then maybe they wouldn't kill themselves. And if they, it's a whole big thing. But it really upset me, and I wanted to help, and I wanted to just, show these people's families in that community that their loss wasn't for nothing, and that I would do whatever I could.
Well, I was kind of amazed that people got mad at that, just because it seemed pretty obvious to me. Like, yeah, it's got to be personal if two people are murdered watching your film, to all of a sudden have a very strong feeling against guns. I don't think that's a crazy leap.
I don't think it's a crazy leap either. I think it's annoying when celebrities get involved in politics. Like, you see Scarlett Johansson endorsed Obama. You're like, who cares? I think it's annoying and it's gross, but I have met the victim's family. I've met these people, and they're saying, thank you, please keep going, please help us. And I'm not going to say, no, I'm sorry. Some people on Reddit think that it's annoying. So I'm going to just be quiet. No, they can call me whatever they want. And I want to talk about the thing with the kid. So this 17-year-old kid was at the Critics' Choice Awards the other night, which this is my first time. I'm newly famous, Jim. Yeah. I was opening for you wearing the same outfit I'm kind of wearing right now, but yeah. I don't know how to manage this shit, But anyway, so I'm being rushed in, and this kid's like, can I have a picture? And I'm like, sure. And I talked to him and his dad for a second, and he was sweet, and we had a nice little exchange, and I was like, all right, bye. And then the next day, he posed this picture, and it said, whatever he wrote, a night with Amy Schumer, but a lot of guys have said that. And I was just kind of like, that's not cool, bro. And people don't understand. If somebody's like, oh, I'm the fat guy, if you're like Ralphie May and you make fat jokes, that's cool. But I don't think it's cool to for somebody to go up to him hey, you fat fuck. It's no. And, I'm it's okay to make these jokes, but when someone, people don't know how to joke right, and also that I'd stopped with him, it had taken time, and then he wrote that. So anyway, I just replied to him. I didn't put a period in front of it so that it would be everyone who follows me would see it. It was just to him, and it was just to be like, dude. But it got picked up. It became viral. I didn't expect people would even mention it. I write back to people on Twitter every day, to nice things and to bad things. I usually just correct people's spelling. But it went viral. I'm in this place right now where people are looking to me for any sort of entertainment news. And it's very weird because you know me and you see how I dress. And so, yeah, that's what happened with that. And I tried to reach out to that kid, that kid, first of all, any publicity winds up being good, but I didn't mean for that to happen. I just thought it was going to be a quick exchange with that kid. I didn't get really angry and try, I was like, whatever. But most important for me and why I'm here is I did not steal any jokes, and I wouldn't. And the reason I think this is coming up, I think that it's Tammy. I think she's upset. I blocked her on Twitter a couple years ago because she was unkind to my best friend is Rachel Feinstein, a comedian. And, and I didn't like how she treated Rachel. And so I'm a very loyal friend. And, so I was like, well, I don't want to talk to that chick. And I don't think she's got much going on. This is my guess. I don't know. Maybe she has 9 deals. We got along fine, I opened for her on the road in 2007 and totally, just bombed beyond all recognition. I never watched her, I've never watched Tammy's specials or anything. But I think people get upset by success, and I think it makes sense. You see someone that you used to identify with, and now all of a sudden you think, oh, I don't think I like her anymore, and she's doing too well, and she's gotten a big head or something. And I haven't. I have not. I am.
Well, I've wondered why they said that, because things with Kurt, you stuck up for Kurt, and a lot of people were coming after him, and you stood by Metzger.
Fired. They were writing to me. They were in Comedy Central. They were fire this guy. They were sending me articles of why I should fire Kurt.
And you didn't. You stuck with him and promoted him because he's talented and he's a brilliant writer as a producer. And I'm always like, why did these fans all of a sudden turn and get so angry at somebody who has come into the radio show and told so much about yourself and told so much personal stuff? Like, what is it about being famous and the opinions that come with that fucking upset people or they make them so angry when they don't agree with it?
Oh, I was reading and said you were too close. What makes, like, I think it's the human condition. I think we really do like to build people up and we root for them. And then when they are succeeding, I don't think it's personal. I don't even take it personally that these women, put this video together. Like, it's whatever's going on with them. I don't think it's personal. I think it's just hard to see someone doing well and maybe they pick, like, you know, maybe Tammy pictured a different life for herself and a different outcome. And then so to see someone who's succeeding, but I really believe, I don't think I'm any happier than I was when I was waiting tables. Like, if they think like I'm living this amazing life, like I feel very lucky and grateful, but I'm just as happy as I was when I was waiting tables. Like I get lonely. I'm usually lonely. I'm an introvert and I just want to sit at the cellar and talk shit. And I think people just like wanna, and especially like women, like what I wrote to that 17-year-old kid, you think if Louis had an exchange with someone like that or you, that it would become a thing, like, you know, that they'd be like, oh, like, why is Louis doing that to that kid? No, it's women. You know, I mean, it happened with Jennifer Lawrence the other day. You know, they're like, oh, did you hear her say that thing about that guy's cell phone? Like telling him to put his phone down. She's a bitch. Like people are afraid and angry at women and they want to, bring them down. I just believe that.
And when you see something,
people, not men, women too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And being a comedian, like, and I know that it's so hard. How hard is it to sit on your hands? Like, when you see people writing stuff, like accusing you of joke thievery, it's like you have to talk. It's like the business says, well, don't say anything, but it's so hard to not say anything. Right.
They're like, don't say anything, because me saying something turns it into a big news story right now. Because, yeah, like I'm just, I'm someone that they're like, oh, this is entertainment news. Like this will be on E! News somehow. And it's so hard because we're stand-ups. It's all about communicating and being heard. And so to be accused of this and not be able to speak out immediately, it's infuriating. It's so hard because more than anything, I want credibility as a comic. And I wish right now I could take a polygraph, like that there was somebody who could come over right this second and just prove that I had never even seen those jokes from those people. Like the thought that I would, and also the Patrice one, like that people don't understand it's not even a street joke. It's just a sex term. Like, yeah, I didn't happen to catch that Montreal set where he did that. It's so crazy that people would think, like, I'm pretty smart. I mean, my sister has tested my IQ and I tested half like I actually have Down syndrome and then half like in the top percentiles, you know, I mean, for real.
Yeah.
And, but I wouldn't just take a joke from someone. I wouldn't, yeah, it's just, all I care about is that the people close to me and comedians, that they respect me. And so that's like the one thing I could do. Because for you, if I was like, oh, I just like mugged someone, like you could forgive anything, but I don't think comedians can forgive joke stealing.
Well, that was something that I had said, like the day after it broke, is that I know you loved Patrice and I know how he felt about you. And the idea of consciously taking something and going like, fuck his memory, I'm going to take that, and then coming and having to face your friends at the cellar. Like, I know you well enough to know, like, that's just not something as a comedian that would be done by anybody unless they're completely crazy. And I know how you feel about the comics at the cellar, and people who aren't comics don't understand that. Yeah, it's all I care about is my family, and I consider the cellar completely my family. And, yeah, like, and I was less upset about the accusation and what it meant about, like, what that would say about me. Like, I reached out to Wendy and I was like, you know me, like, you know I wouldn't do that. And she's like, oh, I 100% believe you. She's like, I completely believe you. And I'm like, okay, good. I just, and so then, whatever it is that Tammy's going through, or, and Kathleen has backed off. She's like, no, she knows me too. But
But you know, you can edit together a video, and to be honest with you, it's not fair and it's not cool, but I'm not like a little weakling. This stuff makes me upset and angry, and then I just get stronger and I'll fight back. I am not going to become one of these other comics who's been accused of stealing jokes. This will not be a part of my name, because I will edit together a video showing what they've, you know, like how you can spin anybody's. You know what I mean? Yes. Like, I'm not going to take this lying down.
It's one of those things where, as a comic, it's such a personal thing. And I know that just from knowing you. And it's so funny how people keep questioning why I defend. It's like, well, we're friends. It's like, I didn't just meet Amy 2 weeks ago at a party. We've been friends for 8 years. Yeah. And it's like, you get to know somebody on the road, and you get to know somebody well. And if somebody was a joke thief, it's like, you don't get close to somebody like that. And Colin wouldn't be close to you, and Patrice wouldn't have loved you, and Keith Robinson wouldn't love you.
I know, and I don't like Keith Robinson, as you know, and I really would like for him to delete my phone number, but yeah, so that's all I care about. That's because, yeah, people who aren't comedians, I think they don't really understand, and, you know, people on the, like, message boards, whatever, I don't care, you guys, yes, I'm the fattest, ugliest monster with, like, the stinkiest vagina in the world, of course, yes, keep writing that, I don't care, but don't call me a joke thief, you know, like, I'm not, and I would never fucking do that. So, yeah, like, Nikki Glazer was like, I want to tweet, the only place Amy's ever stolen from is Bloomingdale's. Like, I am a convicted shoplifter. I have stolen, I have a record, I let a cab driver finger me. Like, I will tell you anything about me. There's no, you know, there are journalists right now. The past 2 days, journalists have been knocking on my mom's door, on my best friends from home, and like random people from my hometown. There's journalists. They go to their houses. My boyfriend, they went to his mom's, like they're knocking on his mom's door. It's really weird, this level of fame that's going on with me right now. And I know it's temporary, thank God, but it's like, the level of violation is insane, and it's really upsetting, because I just live in New York. I still live in a walk-up 1-bedroom. It's not big. I think it's nice, but it's not, I'm not living this fancy, insane life. Like, I get to fly, I get to travel and stay in nice hotels, but that's where it ends. Like, I'm still just working hard on my TV show. There's no heat in my, it's like, I'm the same, but people like, it's really kind of dangerous, and it feels really horrible to my friends and like my friends have kids, and they're like knocking on the door, like, what can you tell us? Like, people are looking for a story, and they don't care who they hurt. They want to make some money. And then, you know, people online, like, to take the time to like trash someone, you know, whatever it is. I think if you're like trolling on the internet, I honestly feel for you. Like, I'm not angry. I don't think you're stupid. I think like you must be in so much pain to want to spend time attacking someone else. Yeah, so I don't even mind that stuff, but I'm not a thief. Like, I'm just, yeah. And I wasn't mad. Look, jokes about, I'm not like, Amy's gotten so serious, nobody can make jokes about her being slutty. It's not like that. It's like, that kid and I had talked, he's young, it was nice. So then to write that, it made me feel bad. And not everyone's good at joking around. And
you weren't targeting him for anything bad to happen to him. Like, you weren't saying this kid shouldn't be allowed on the carpet, or this kid should be penalized.
No, not at all. I just wrote back to just him. I didn't put it on my timeline so everybody could see it, and I just thought he'd be like, oh, sorry. You know, because people don't think that we read anything, and it's like, I'm bored. I'm like, I just like play with my sister's dog every night, and like, you know, watch TV. I'm like reading my phone, and there's just no part of me that thought that he would have even one consequence. I didn't even tweet so that people would attack him. I wanted to reach out to him because it personally hurt my feelings, because I felt like we'd had a nice moment, and then that just was like, we're not friends like that. Like, if you say something about me being like a disease-riddled, like, cum dumpster, that's fine.
You couldn't sue me for slander.
Because you know that about me, but it's these, you know, it's other people that are like, they don't know how to joke around right, you know?
And so it affected you, and you said something to him, and
To just him, but you know, it got picked up, and that happens now, I guess, for a little while. So I know not to do that because I don't want anyone to get in trouble.
how much pressure is that now? Because as a comedian that has always said fairly horrible things, and you've been very blunt and always funny, like just saying whatever you wanted to say. Now there's this pressure that everything you say carries weight.
Yeah, and you know what? I get a lot of shit for it, and I don't care. I don't care. Like, I don't care about the stuff they usually say, but I care about this because it's not true. And I don't know if Tammy thinks that, like, this is how people make it. Like, oh, the girl, she tweeted like, referencing Bill Cosby. She tweeted saying, like, that what I've done to her, she said, at least Bill Cosby drugged his victims. Like, really? You're gonna, whatever that clip of that women, it wasn't even her premise. Does she think she created to dress a guy bad so no one else wants him? And you know that set, we tried a million different alt jokes. That wasn't scripted. That was just tried on set and they used it. And if she thinks that in 2006, again, that I saw that, or that I saw Wendy's joke in the 90s and thought, okay, if I just wait this out, or that I reference old sets of people, like, that's so crazy.
And don't people think, like, that we would have noticed it at the Comedy Show? Like, don't you think Amy wasn't always famous? Like, you don't think Colin or Patrice or Keith or myself or Voss or any of the guys who you're friends with would have noticed this years ago? It's like, you don't think the word would have gotten out in our community?
Right. And the timing of this is a little suspicious. It's like, okay, if Tammy, like, saw that joke in the Trainwreck trailer and thought, that's my bit, she stole my bit. The Trainwreck came out in July. Like, you're gonna wait, and like, you're gonna wait until my special October, like you're gonna wait until right now after. It's like, do I seem too happy? You know? I don't know. I'm not even mad at her, but I want to clear my name, and like, I'll do whatever I have to do that.
And people were talking about the similarity between the Trainwreck poster and the Always Sunny poster. Did you come up with the concept for that, or is that something that, like, how does the concept for the Trainwreck poster come? Do you come up with that yourself, or is that dictated to you by somebody else?
We took 3 million pictures, and I in no way was involved in the selection. If anything, they said, this is the poster. And I said, I really don't like that. I said, I really don't like that. And they were like, well, everyone loves it. You can ask Judd about that. Like, anybody could verify that. But I also don't, It's Always Sunny poster. Like, I've never even heard this before. I remember, like, Caitlin Olsen, like, there was some picture of her and the two of us talked because it looked similar. But I didn't know, was that a poster for It's Always Sunny?
That's what I've read. I've actually never seen the show, and I've seen the poster only today.
Hilarious, but I was not. Yeah, Universal doesn't call me for my marketing tips, believe it or not.
Right, so that's one of those things where this is you just kind of doing a bunch of posters to the marketing department, and then people like a year later are saying, oh, she took, like, you looked at the Always Sunny poster and said, that's what I'm going to do for my poster.
Right. Ooh, I like it. Just, that's so crazy. I like that. That's a good idea. Let's just do that. Like, that's ridiculous. And Kurt, anybody who writes on my show, we sit there, we think of ideas, and then we're like, oh no, that's a Key and Peele. Oh no, was this too some, you know, we've not done so many scenes because it was in a commercial, because one person saw a little bit of it somewhere else. I would never do anything that was even similar to anyone else.
So you actually did speak to Wendy. You talked to Wendy and you talked to Kathleen.
No, I didn't talk to Kathleen. I talked to Wendy, and she's like, I 100% believe you, and I'm not involved in this. Kathleen, I've been trying to get her phone number to call her and just be like, what's going on? Her manager reached out to, I think, the executive producer of my TV show when this scene, you know, it was the first season. We're filming the 4th season right now. The first season aired, and they reached out saying, hey, Kathleen has this bit about Oprah. It was after the scene had already aired. She has this bit about Oprah and, like, her being able to afford somebody to slap the food out of her mouth. And we were like, oh, okay, yeah, nothing. We had never heard of that and whatever. And they were like, do you want us to do anything? They're like, no, we just wanted you to know. And that was the end of it. And so I don't know. But I've asked a couple people for her number, and they haven't given it to me. So I'm thinking I heard she's totally, like, backed off and and knows, she knows me too. So I can't imagine she'd believe it, but I don't know Tammy. I know that she was unkind to Rachel. And that's, yeah. And I'm like so loyal. I'm really nice until somebody messes with my friends. And then I'm not going to try to hurt her, but I'm not going to deal with her.
Have you felt, has there been jealousy towards you? Because it's like all of a sudden you're the, like, I hate when they say the it girl, but you're doing so well. Mm. Have you felt the jealousy from the other people who might be seeing you as a competitor?
I really haven't. I think people mostly feel bad for me. I think they're like, oh, Jesus, Schumer. Like, anytime I've gotten photographed by paparazzi, I always look, horrendous. And, I don't know. Like, I haven't experienced, I've been friends with the same people the whole time. So I haven't. And I'm at the Comedy Cellar. I'm at, the clubs that I'm at are like, it's just us. So I'm sure, comics, they get enraged. Everyone's, Louis and Aziz and Kev. Like, people just get mad at comedians who get to a certain place. But, I haven't experienced any of it. But, people give jealousy a lot of energy. And I'm thinking, oh wow, like, Tammy's like been really stewing and thinking like, oh, she's gonna get, I feel really bad for her that she's like definitely given this so much time and energy when I've never seen her do that joke. And I really look forward to being able to prove that, which I'm gonna do. Like, yeah, it's just sad, but I only feel bad for her.
And it's just I had a joke one time that I was doing, and I wound up putting it on a shirt. And then David Tell saw it. He goes, "Oh, I said that once." He wasn't accusing me of anything, but I had said it on the radio in 2000. I'm like, did I see Tell do that and not know it, or did he hear me on? Like, but I know neither one of us ever looked at the other one and said, "I'm taking." It never happened. Never.
Tell that we always are calling each other. Is this an Attell joke? Like, even if I think of a joke and I think it's funny, I think, oh, this must be someone else's, and I check with everyone. We check with everyone. Chelsea Peretti, Nikki, like we're always texting and making sure.
Tell will always come in with these really bizarre things like, do you do anything about shitting in a blender? And it's like, no.
You're like, no one else talks about hippopotamus rape. Like, that's all yours. Have at it.
But they don't see that we do check this stuff with each other, and we really do. It's very easy to spot a hack or to spot a thief. And people, for some reason, want to put that label on, I think, because they know it hurts.
Yeah. And it really hurts somebody's reputation. So yeah, like I would be happy to talk to any of those women. And just all the, like, it's like a tonnage thing. It's like, oh, well now this and this. But like, if you look at each of them, you're like, what? No, the most similar thing is the Wendy thing. And I swear on my sister's life, I never saw her do that joke. I would never watch her do a joke and then go, that's mine now. I'm just going to start doing it.
And that's what a thief does. Thieves sit in the back of the room and they watch something and they go, okay, if I just change that, I can have that. And that is what a joke thief does. And there are people who do that. And then there are
they exist. We know them. And those people are crazy. And we're not friends with them. Like I'm purposely not friends with certain comics because I'm like, oh no, that dude just, and we talk about it, we're like, oh my God, did you hear he just like started doing that joke that his opener did? And it's crazy. You know what I mean? Like, those people exist, and I'm like, I don't want to be friends with them. I want to be friends with the comics that I think are the funniest and that I respect. I don't know what were you going to talk about on the show today? I feel really bad.
Don't be. It's just an advice show where people, believe it or not, call in.
This would be funny if I realized that you don't even have a show on.
Yeah, I'm just starting a podcast soon.
You found a way to get me over to your apartment.
Yeah, exactly. I should have been nude when you walked in. But this is just an advice show, and there's people I knew they were going to ask me about it, like some of these questions.
I'm happy to answer any jokes.
Okay, do you want to answer a question?
Sure.
Okay, if anybody has a question and you want to, I will give you the microphone. If you want to call up, it might take a minute because we're on 1 minute.
And if they just want to ask you advice on their own lives, that's fine too. It doesn't have to be about me. I really appreciate everybody's time and your time for letting me come.
Oh, of course. I'm just frustrated we don't have 2 mics. So let's get to, okay.
And also I need everybody to help me come up with a tweet. If anybody could help me come up with a tweet that I can send out about this, because I need to say something.
So if you want to clear a couple lines, Lou, it's 866 969-1969 if you want to call in. Amy is right here if you want to ask her something. And Jay in Chicago wanted to ask about the. You wanted to talk to Jay? You can put the headset on.
Sure. Oh, thank you. Is this for me? Okay. Hello?
Hey.
Jay?
Yeah, Jay from Chicago.
Hi, how are you?
Good. I was calling in just to see if Jimmy had seen the video.
Oh, it's for you. He wants to know if you've seen the video.
No, but...
Oh, go ahead.
No,
he said...
What about... There was another joke in Trainwreck someone was questioning about...
Sure.
About, like, jerking off to hockey fights.
Jerking off to hockey fights.
Pepitone.
That was a John Glazer ad lib. Like, they just kept... If anybody... Not like I think... If anybody has the DVD of Trainwreck, they show, like, the deleted stuff and whatever... And Judd Apatow is crazy about having people do a million alt jokes. Those dudes weren't even written into the scene. I was supposed to just have that scene with Ezra Miller and then John Glazer, and they were trying to make me laugh. And you see that I keep laughing. And he just tried different stuff. I didn't even know that hockey jerking off to hockey fights that was in. That was going to make it into the final cut, but it wasn't in the script. Why? What is that from? What is that from?
It was from an Eddie Pepitone CD, but it was actually written into the screenplay.
They made the screenplay based on whatever was in the final, like what they used on screen. But I can tell you that in the initial script, that definitely wasn't there because those guys weren't even in that scene with what I wrote. And I love Eddie Pepitone. I've never heard his CD, but I love him. And I think I reached out to him because this sounds a little bit familiar. I think I reached out to him and, but I mean, Eddie knows me also. He knows I would never do that. But so there's a line in Eddie's CD about jerking off to hockey fights.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I promise you, John Glazer came up with that on the spot, and I can almost assure you that John never listened to Eddie's CD. Also.
All right. I just want to plug my Twitter, Bobo Orban6 on Twitter. Thank you. Bye bye.
All right. Thanks, Jay. Sure. Oh, do you want this back?
No, just a second.
Okay. Sure.
Okay, and somebody wants to... Do you want to go with him?
Sure, anything.
Okay.
Anything. Thanks, Jimmy. This looks like we're in like a telemarketing office. Hello?
Let me see. Say Fontaine.
Fontaine.
Hey, baby.
Hi, Fontaine.
Hey, I'm a real fan, and I don't believe any of that shit. Those of us who know, we just know. And hey, Jimbo.
Hey, thanks, man. He says hey to you, Jimmy. Oh, he's giving you a thumbs up.
Hey, Amy, I wanted to get your advice on relationships, and I'm not going to prank you or any of that stupid shit.
Oh, that's nice.
My girl and I are so perfect together, same sense of humor and everything. We're both assholes in that respect. The only problem I have is the follow-up question always fucks her up. Like when I ask her something, if she says she means something or knows something or wants something, if I ask a follow-up question, she spins out of control. And I guess my approach right now is to just ignore it.
Like, what do you mean a follow-up question? You ask her, like, give me an example.
Today she called. She says, hey, because we just bought a new house. And she goes, I can't find the magic jack to plug it up. And I said, well, I just got you a brand new cell phone and the headset. Does that work? She goes, the magic jack's better. And I said, why? And she said, I just like the magic jack better. That to me is sort of enraging because she didn't say why.
Yeah, I think that's really annoying. I think it sounds like she's like just like stubborn and doesn't like trust, and she's like insecure about what her answer to that would be. And like somebody just not wanting to be questioned. That's like, I can't deal with that. I'm glad that you guys are happy together, but that would be really cool if you could ask her to work on that. She needs to work on that.
I think
That's
I
so
am.
Cool. Yeah,
hey,
I would tell her exactly that. Be like, I'm so happy with you and I really want us to be together for a long time, but I definitely, it's really frustrating to me. And just trust that even if you don't know why, I'll be able to, I won't make you feel stupid about it.
Amy, you're incredibly funny, and I hope
Fontaine.
you get everything that you want.
Thanks a lot, man. All right, take care. Sure. Steve? Oh, Steve in Westchester. That one?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, Steve.
Hi, Amy. How you doing? Hey, Jim.
He says hi. Oh, he's waving. Jimmy's waving.
One
Like the
mic is
creepily. Only one mic is
So I'm
working.
just sitting here
Yeah.
leaning and creepy.
Comment on the what you said about loopholes at gun shows.
Sure.
There is no such thing. If you buy a gun at a gun show, you still have to go through a background check. And on the internet, the same thing. You have to have it sent to your local gun shop and go through the background check.
I really appreciate you engaging with me on this. I know that that's not true for every state. That's true.
It is. It's federal. It's FBI. The check is through the FBI. It's federal, and it's in every state. I mean,
I promise you. No, Steve. I really appreciate that. I promise you, as someone who's been meeting with Hillary Clinton and the president in every town and all these.
Well, you have to look at their agenda as well.
What do you think
they've never lied to anyone?
Okay, that's the kind of answer where you go, they've never lied to anyone, where that totally spins it off the topic. No, they have data.
Amy,
what do you hold on, Steve. Steve, what do you think their agenda is? What do you think my agenda is with guns, and what do you think their agenda is with guns?
I'm not saying, but you just referenced two people who their agenda is to disarm the country and to get rid of the Second Amendment.
Right. And so what I'm saying is that is the problem, that people think that. You're incorrect. And because of that thinking, Steve, why would they want to disarm this amendment was written in the 1700s. So because people thought that the government was going to come for them.
Okay. Can you go back to the actual what you said about the loophole?
Absolutely.
You still have to get a background check to buy a firearm at any gun show in the country, and over the internet, you have to get a background check.
I promise you, Steve, I hear you, and I believe that you believe that, but you can absolutely easily get a gun on the internet, and at a gun show could just be someone backing a truck up and being like, you're at a gun show. I promise you, Steve, you can, they don't have to do, legally they have to. They don't. Anybody can do it. I promise you I have this information.
If someone's breaking the law, they're breaking the law.
Right.
But you can't just do it without breaking the law.
Right. Agreed. But no one's cracking down.
It's not a loophole that you can get around. You're violating federal law. Okay, it's not a loophole.
It is a loophole because you can do it, and it's done all the time.
You're breaking the law. It's not a loophole.
I wish I had all the. If you go to everytown.org, you'll see all this information. But I promise you, there are 32 states where you can literally just go up, and you could have several. You could have several felonies. You could be a domestic violence convict. And yes, it's not legal, but it's so easy to do. But there's a way we can undo that.
I don't want to argue with you. You're a wonderful comic.
Thanks,
Have a
Steve.
wonderful day.
Thanks for talking to me about it. Jack in Wisconsin. Wait, where? Oh, Jack in Wisconsin.
Hey, Amy, how are you?
Hi. Good. How are you?
I'm well, thanks. Hi to Jimmy, too. Is he there?
Hi, Jimmy. Yes. He says, hi, I'm right here, in a very creepy way.
Hi. I wanted to talk to you about the comparisons between your jokes and Patrice's jokes.
Great.
That one time I got to this stream a little late, so I might have missed a few things. But,
sure.
All right, so anyway, the jokes you did were kind of like Urban Dictionary jokes.
Right. It's just saying it was just naming sex terms that anybody could know. I like learning new ones, so I would have the audience tell me one. And the Houdini is the worst one that I heard. And I'd never ever heard Patrice do that. I would never steal a joke from anyone, let alone someone that I loved so much.
Well, don't you think that a joke like that is a little corny or hacky to close out an Apollo show with?
Yeah. Yes, I do, Jack.
Why did you do that, then?
Because you know what? It murders people. It makes people so happy, and it made people laugh, and it was fun for me to do. But so if that joke is hacky or not, if that's in question, that's fine. But I didn't take it from Patrice. But yeah, I think you're right, and I appreciate you. I appreciate you asking that because that's a legitimate question. But I promise you, I did not. I'd never, ever heard Patrice do that or have any knowledge that he ever did that. But yeah, I think it is hacky. So thanks for calling. All right, John in Texas. John?
Hey.
Hi.
Hey, Amy. Hey,
How you doing?
I love you as a comic. I
Thanks.
don't quite agree with your politics, but anyhow.
No, I appreciate
my
that. I love that we live in a country where we're allowed to have, Jimmy and I don't have the same politics. That's fine.
Yeah.
And I love a lot of comics where I don't agree with her. I'm not like, I love Nick DiPaolo, but I'm not like, oh, I bet we fill out a ballot the same way.
Right.
Same with Cat Williams. I love Cat. And then he's like, I don't believe in evolution. I'm like, I'll still go see him whenever he's in town. But go ahead. I apologize.
Do you think that, the shit that you're getting is because of not only your success, but the fact that you don't quite fit the status quo of Hollywood and what, an actress is supposed to look like or act like or just in general?
I don't know. I really don't. I mean, I think that anyone who is experiencing, I think any woman who's experiencing some success, it just makes people mad. And I think the fact that I am not as pretty and way more than the other women in Hollywood, I don't know if that makes people upset. I really don't know. I think people spend so much time deciding. Like, a lot of people are just like, I don't know. Like, would I have said? Like, people really deliberate. That's why I did that episode of my show, the 12 Angry Men episode I wrote, was because, like, just people, with women, it's just all about, like, deciding if they're hot enough, if they have the right to use their voices. Like, is she pretty enough that she should be allowed to speak? But I don't know what it is that makes people, I don't know, but I think people are extremely mad right now because I haven't had like a boyfriend in the public for a long time, and I met someone and I really like him, and I'm like happy, and I'm usually like very lonely, so I think also people are just like, she can't also have a boyfriend, like we have to tear her down. That's how it feels anyway. What do you think?
Yeah, like,
why do you think it
How
is?
could she?
Yeah, right. And they're like, wow, we thought she'd date like a troll. Yeah. But
Well, what? Well, thanks for taking my call.
Thanks, John.
And can you try to get Jimmy to stop, getting prostitutes?
Nobody can try and stop Jimmy from getting prostitutes. That's like,
All right, see you later.
all right, bye. Who? David? Oh no, Charlie in Philly.
Hello, Amy. How are you?
Hey, good. How are you, Charlie?
Real quick. Hey, Jimmy. Yeah. Love Jimmy too.
Yeah, he's pretending to blow you, Charlie.
I can hear everything, but we
all right.
have one mic.
Okay.
I don't want to get to rambling, but there's been comics for how many years now? I mean, they could date back as far as the beginning of time almost. Someone always trying to make somebody laugh.
Right.
So everybody getting an uproar, oh, you're stealing this, you stole that. Now, yes, there are comics that just blatantly steal because they just don't want to sit down and use their mind to think of something. Mm-hmm. But, over the years, I could be on the job site and guys say something and they're like, yeah, my dad said that, and he said he heard that from his grandfather. Well, here his grandfather was just repeating something that he heard,
Sure.
Laurel and Hardy say or something, you know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
And then, so it's like, this guy has no idea, you know what I mean? So it's like,
You're saying like the subconscious, like can you overhear something and then you say it and like you get confused? And I think that definitely is something that happens. And like even my best girlfriends, like Rachel Feinstein, Nikki Glazer, Chelsea Peretti, like we are always constantly being like, is that someone, did you say that? And then like me and Nikki before have been like, oh, I'm doing something similar to that. And you go like, oh, okay, well I'll stop doing it. So yeah, subconscious stuff works into people all the time, but I'm like pretty meticulous with asking around and making sure if I think, or people, we kind of police each other. Someone would say, hey, I'm so sorry, but I heard whoever do a joke like that. And you go, oh, no, thanks for telling me. I'll stop doing it. And that never happened.
And that's awesome. And people should realize that not only do comedians in general, put the hours and hours and hours of thought into writing their comedy, now they're also checking to make sure that they're not stealing someone else's material.
Right.
it's
Right.
you know,
I
and then
appreciate
right
it,
away, and right away people just want to just jump your shit and and like you said, tear you down. It just you know who you are. Your friends know who you are.
Thank you
and
so much.
Fuck everybody else.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Drew in Oklahoma.
Yeah. Hey, I watched Trainwreck for the first time the other night with my wife.
What'd you think?
And I loved it. We both.
Oh, okay, thanks.
Really, really good. I was just curious. The scene with Bill Hader, where you guys are arguing and saying really hurtful stuff to each other. Do you tend to fight like that
in real life?
Yeah.
No, I don't. And actually, that was one of the things that came up for me and Judd, because I don't know if it's his life or whatever, but he was like very into us like fighting all night. And that's not, I had, we've all had that one relationship where you bring out the worst in each other. And when I was 20, like 19 to 21, I dated someone where we just brought out the worst in each other. And I was like thinking, oh God, is this what relationships are like? But not since I was 21 I've never said anything to a boyfriend that I might regret, cause you can't take that stuff back. Yeah, no, I wouldn't do that. And then if somebody says something kind of unforgivable and hurtful to me in a relationship, like you just can't take that stuff back. I think you gotta fight fair. So no, that is not based on, I've definitely sabotaged and broken up with people because I was afraid I was going to get hurt, but I would never, I don't say anything hurtful.
Okay.
Yeah. Why are you in a relationship where, are you guys good or what's up?
Yeah, no, we're okay.
You guys are good.
Sometimes I tend to say hurtful things and
try not to do. It's all about, like, cause that's all about you. You're in pain and you're afraid of losing her or something. So you lash out and that's out of insecurity. So if you could like try and get a handle on that and know, take a breath or whatever and just trust that she loves you and is not going to leave. I mean, I don't know. Maybe she is going to leave you like today, but like probably not. It would be good to not do that. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Nice talking to you.
Thank you.
Number 2,
2 more calls.
Oh, 2 more calls? Okay.
You can go to that one. You can go to that one.
Okay. What?
You don't need to that one.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, we've already done that.
Okay. How about that one?
Oh, okay. No, that's nice. Okay. That's nice. Okay. What about Jimmy? Yeah, let's do Craig in Connecticut.
Oh my God, I'm the biggest fan of yours. Listen.
Thank you. Me or Jimmy or both?
Well, I love you both.
All right.
Did anybody ever say that you look like that wrestling woman or no?
Which wrestling woman?
No, the mixed martial arts. What was the girl?
Ronda Rousey?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Oh no, Holly Holm. Holly Holm. Yeah. A lot of people said that. People like.
No, I know. It's not. She's cute. But listen, how did they ever take Jim out of your fucking movie?
I know. His scene was so fucking funny. I cannot believe that they cut it.
How do you sleep at night?
Oh, dude, that was, first of all, I don't sleep at night, but that was not my call. I didn't get final cut. That was yeah, I promise. You think I don't want, I'm the one who was like, wanted Jimmy in the movie. And, I hate that scene got cut because it was so funny.
Broke his heart.
Me too. Jimmy will be in anything he's willing to do that I ever make for the rest of my life. So you'll see him doing something awful both on my show this season and in any movies that I ever make. So
Tom, you're sorry, please.
I told him I'm sorry. You're so funny. Craig in Connecticut is concerned about your acting reel. Okay, you want to take it? Okay.
Yeah, just for a second.
Oh, and also I need suggestions of tweets. Is there like a chat?
Okay, yes. So before we wrap up, again, we were doing this with one mic, which is why I was quiet. We had a headset. And thank you for that call. But I learned I was cut out of Trainwreck by the producer very soon after we shot it when we were doing voiceover. So, I know that was their call, and it was just a timing issue. So we've gotten to all the calls. There was nothing avoided. Before we wrap up, I'll bring Amy back just for a second just to say I'm back. Oh, okay. But there's a couple of real relationship questions, the cuckolding question, the genital warts question. charging a call. No, we can't because we're over. So you guys can call back next week, and I apologize for not getting to you. John in Virginia, the firearms enthusiast, he's just saying that Amy is right. There are chat rooms where background checks are not needed to buy guns. And David in Philly just wanted to say he totally supports Amy 100%. And I was, just in closing, I was very surprised to get that, I got a call from Kenny on my home phone. He's like, Amy's trying to call you. This is like literally 2:45. So I'm really happy that you came on. And you met the president? I didn't ask you that.
Yeah, I met the president. I was invited to the White House to go, for him to talk about that bill. And I was like, fuck yeah, I'm going. And I got to meet him, and he was like, they were like, how do you want us to introduce you? Like right before, because they say your name. And they were like, Amy Schumer. And I was like, say I'm a model. And they were like, she is a model. And then he was like, you're very funny, Amy Schumer. And he said that he enjoyed Trainwreck. I was like, you're kidding me. He's like, no. Yeah, and then it was... Did
he see the deleted scenes, by the way?
Yeah, he said he couldn't believe that the horse and carriage scene got cut out.
Well, thanks for coming. I mean, it was really a nice surprise for you to I thought you were working through it, and I'm glad, like a comedian, that's what we do. You have to address things.
We have to address it. I'm going to go try to draft a tweet. So wish me luck. And please, anybody listening, I would love your support online also, if you feel so inclined. And if not, whatever. We have freedom of speech. You can tell me I'm a fat cunt. It's on you. Thanks, Jimmy.
Thank you. And just so you guys know, there's not one Amy question in this thing that we avoided or didn't get to. So anybody that wants to say that we only took easy calls, literally, there are 3 calls on the line right now. Cuckolding, genital warts, and should I change for a girl, to be completely honest with her. So we have to wrap up. Thank you guys for listening, and for those of you that called in, and you heard it from Amy herself, and, she explained it better than I could have, okay? See you guys next week if I'm still alive.
Thanks for listening to The Jim Norton Show. Hear all that advice whenever you want to on demand at SiriusXM.com/on-demand. On SiriusXM is real.